Welcome to MotoGP in 9 minutes. Here is what you need to know today. Marc Marquez has crashed out of the main race at Jerez and is now facing serious questions about his form and fitness in 2026. The 93 won Saturday's sprint race with a brilliant tactical move, switching to wet tires after crashing near the pit entry when rain arrived. But Sunday told a completely different story. On lap 2 of the main race, his front end gave way at a high-speed corner, and he was thrown violently into the gravel. That crash ended his race immediately and left him with no points. In my view, this is devastating for his championship hopes. He is now sitting in 5th place with 44 points behind the leader. That is a massive hole to dig out of. Just yesterday, he looked like a champion with that sprint victory. Today he looks lost. The contrast is shocking. What makes this even more concerning is that Marquez has now recorded 2 retirements this season without a single podium finish. For a rider of his pedigree, that is not just bad luck. That is a pattern. That is a trend that screams something is seriously wrong. Ducati is backing him completely with a new contract worth around 15 million euros per year, but performance like this will test even their patience. The question now is whether he can recover mentally and physically from this setback before the season slips away completely. Moving on to the circumstances of Saturday's sprint victory, because there is a lot to unpack there. Marquez was brilliant in the wet, but also controversial. He crashed at turn 13, then immediately pitted to switch to wet tires as the rain intensified. This gamble paid off spectacularly because by the time his rivals reacted, he had a huge advantage and won the race. However, Johann Zarco raised a legitimate complaint. He argued that Marquez benefited unfairly from crashing so close to the pit entry, saving crucial time on what would have been a longer journey in worse conditions. Zarco essentially said the maneuver was questionable, even if technically legal. The race stewards disagreed and did not penalize him because the race had already entered the flag-to-flag phase where bike changes are allowed. So from a sporting rule perspective, Marquez did nothing wrong. But from a pure racing perspective, his luck was extraordinary. He crashed in exactly the right place at exactly the right time. That is either genius or fortune, probably both. What matters now is that the glow from that victory lasted less than 24 hours. In the main race, he was slow, uncomfortable, and made a critical error. That tells me something deeper is going on. Either the rain on Saturday masked real problems with the bike setup, or Marquez himself is not operating at full capacity. Given what we know about his injury from last season at Mandalika, I think it is the latter. Pedro Acosta has essentially said the same thing. Acosta pointed out that Marquez is not showing the consistency or aggression that defined his entire career. He suggested directly that Marquez may not have fully recovered from the serious injury he suffered in Indonesia last year, just 1 week after winning the championship. That injury forced early season surgery. Acosta was blunt about it. He said this level of performance is not normal for a rider of Marquez's track record and champion mentality. That is a bold statement from a rival, but it also sounds credible. Acosta is not making excuses for Marquez. He is reading the facts. Marquez won the championship and then got badly hurt. Now he looks different. Weaker. Less confident. Those are not normal patterns for the baby alien. Something is clearly still bothering him physically or psychologically or both. Next up is the race winner himself, Alex Marquez, because his performance at Jerez deserves serious credit. The Gresini Racing rider controlled the main race from start to finish and took the checkered flag with a race time of 40 minutes, 19.748 seconds. That victory is symbolic in so many ways. Alex is riding well. He is consistent. He is beating some of the best riders on the grid. And yes, he beat his brother. That had to feel good for Alex, especially when Marc was crashing while chasing him down. This is the Marquez brother story nobody expected. A year ago, Marc was the dominant world champion and Alex was the struggling number 2. Now the narrative has completely flipped. Alex looks faster, more relaxed, and more confident. His podium position at Gresini shows that the satellite Ducati teams are extremely competitive this season. In fact, the podium was completed by Marco Bezzecchi in 2nd place and Fabio Di Giannantonio in 3rd. That is, Gresini and V are 46, taking spots 2 and 3. Ducati's official team got a victory. That tells you everything about the depth of speed in the Ducati family right now. For Gresini, this is a massive achievement. Winning a Grand Prix is not easy in MotoGP. Beating riders on factory machinery makes it even harder. Alex deserves recognition for this drive. He showed maturity, controlled the pace, and capitalized on the opportunities in front of him. That is championship-winning mentality. The question now is whether he can sustain this. If Alex keeps performing like this, the conversation about which Marquez brother is the stronger rider becomes very real. That is something nobody thought would happen 6 months ago. Now let us talk about Marco Bezzecchi and Aprilia, because the championship picture is shifting rapidly. Bezzecchi finished second at Jerez and continues to lead the overall standings. He is showing exactly what Acosta was saying about Marquez. Consistency. Points every single race. No dramatic crashes. No missing podiums. Bezzecchi is not flashy. He is not making headlines with brilliant tactical decisions or controversial moves. He is just there, race after race, collecting points and building a championship. That is the smart way to win a title. In my view, Bezzecchi is now the favorite for the championship. He is ahead on points. He is riding cleanly. His bike is fast, and he does not appear to be dealing with any of the physical or confidence issues that seem to be affecting Marquez. Aprilia CEO Massimo Rivola is clearly feeling confident as well. He described the Jerez race as the clearest reflection of how tight and competitive this season has become. He emphasized that every team has to adapt quickly, especially in sprint races where weather changes can happen in minutes. Rivola highlighted that unpredictable conditions test strategy, consistency, and the ability to make crucial decisions under pressure. That is a fair assessment. But what Rivola was really saying is that Aprilia feels like they belong at the front now. He stated that the progress Aprilia has shown is a strong signal that they have a competitive package capable of fighting at the front. That is Rivola essentially declaring Aprilia as a serious challenger to Ducati's dominance. For years, Aprilia has been chasing Ducati. Now they might actually be catching them. Bezzecchi on that bike looks comfortable and fast. That combination is dangerous for everyone else. Switching gears to what this means for Ducati as a manufacturer. The Italian brand won the race through Alex on Saturday, but they lost their world champion and title favorite on Sunday. That is a mixed result at best. Ducati continues to support Marquez completely. The new contract worth around 15 million euros per year proves that. Gigi and the team still believe in him. They still think he can return to dominance. But there has to be a point where patience wears thin. If Marquez continues to crash and fail to podium, Ducati will have to have serious conversations about his future. For now, they are standing by him. That is the right call. He is a world champion. He deserves time to recover and find his rhythm. But time is running out. The championship is getting longer and the gap is getting wider. Marquez needs results very soon or the pressure will become unbearable. For the satellite teams like Gresini and VR46, life is good. They are winning races. They are proving that the Ducati bike is fast enough in the right hands. That reflects well on the factory and on their own prospects. If Ducati can win the championship with a satellite rider while the factory machine struggles, that would be an embarrassing outcome for the official team. It would also vindicate the decision of Gresini and VR46 to fight